Imagine this. You're walking down a quiet street on an ordinary afternoon. You're minding your own business, thinking about what to have for dinner, when suddenly a police captain in full uniform steps out of a vehicle, points directly at you, and says, "You are under arrest." No patrol officer, no warrant in hand, just the captain standing right there in front of you. Now, your heart is racing, your mind is spinning, and you are thinking one thing: can he actually do that? Does a police captain even have the legal authority to arrest me right now on the spot without a warrant? Is this even legal? This is one of the most misunderstood areas of law that ordinary citizens encounter, and today we're going to answer it completely, slowly, clearly, and deeply, with real examples that will make everything crystal clear. Before we answer whether a police captain can arrest someone immediately, right now, on the spot, without a warrant, we first need to understand exactly who a police captain is and what role they play in the law enforcement hierarchy. A police captain is a senior ranking officer in a police department. They sit above lieutenants and sergeants, and they are responsible for managing an entire division, precinct, or unit. Think of them as the manager of a large team. They oversee operations, assign duties, review reports, and make important administrative decisions. However, and this is very important, just because a person holds a high rank does not mean they have more legal power to make arrests than a patrol officer. In fact, in most legal systems, all sworn police officers, from the newest rookie on the beat to the most senior captain in the department, share the same basic legal authority when it comes to making arrests. The rank determines leadership responsibility and organizational power, but the law grants arrest authority based on sworn officer status, not rank. This is a fundamental distinction that most people do not realize, and it changes how you should think about every interaction with law enforcement at any level. Now, let us define what an arrest actually is, because this matters deeply for understanding everything that follows. An arrest is the act of legally detaining a person, taking away their freedom of movement because there is reason to believe they have committed, are committing, or are about to commit a crime. An arrest is not just putting handcuffs on someone, it's a formal legal action that triggers rights. The moment you are arrested, the law activates a set of protections for you. These include the right to remain silent, the right to an attorney, and the right to be informed of the charges against you. These are not optional courtesies. They are legal requirements that every arresting officer, including a captain, must follow. Now, there are two main types of arrests. The first is an arrest with a warrant. This is when a judge has already reviewed evidence and signed a document authorizing police to take a specific person into custody. The second is a warrantless arrest. This is when an officer arrests someone immediately, without going to a judge first, based on what is happening right in front of them, or based on probable cause. Both types are legal under the right circumstances, and a police captain can perform either one. Here is the core of our question. Can a police captain arrest someone immediately, right now, on the spot, without a warrant? The answer, in most legal systems, including the United States, is yes, but only under specific, clearly defined legal conditions. This is called a warrantless arrest, and it is absolutely legal when certain criteria are met. The most important condition is called probable cause. Probable cause means the officer, in this case the captain, has a reasonable, factual basis to believe that a crime has been committed and that the person in front of them is the one who committed it. This is not a feeling or a hunch. It must be based on real, observable facts. For example, if a police captain is driving to a meeting and witnesses a man punch another person, steal their bag, and run, the captain can immediately stop that man and place him under arrest. The captain does not need to call for a patrol officer. They do not need to wait for a warrant. The crime happened right in front of them. That is called a crime committed in the presence of the officer, and it is one of the clearest legal grounds for an immediate, warrantless arrest. Another valid ground is exigent circumstances, meaning emergency situations where waiting to get a warrant would result in harm, the destruction of evidence, or the escape of a dangerous suspect. In these cases, any sworn officer, including a captain, can act immediately and decisively. Let us now walk through some clear, real-life examples to make this completely understandable. Example 1. A police captain is attending a community event in a local park. During the event, someone in the crowd pulls out a weapon and threatens another person. The captain, who is present in uniform, does not call dispatch and wait. The captain moves in immediately, disarms the threat, and places the individual under arrest. This is legal. The crime is happening right in front of a sworn officer, and the safety of others is at immediate risk. Example 2. A police captain is driving past a convenience store and sees two men running out with bags while the store alarm is blaring and a cashier is screaming from inside. The captain stops the vehicle, identifies themselves, and arrests both men. Again, completely legal. The captain observed the crime in progress, had clear probable cause, and acted within their authority as a sworn law enforcement officer. Example 3, and this is where it gets more nuanced. A police captain receives a phone call from someone claiming their neighbor committed a crime last week. Can the captain go immediately and arrest that neighbor? No, not without a warrant. A phone call alone does not constitute probable cause for an immediate arrest. In this case, the captain would need to gather evidence, present it to a judge, and obtain an arrest warrant before making the arrest. This protects citizens from being arrested based on rumors or unverified accusations. The difference between these examples is everything, and understanding that difference is what separates legal knowledge from legal confusion. Now, let us talk about your rights in the moment of arrest, because even when a police captain has full legal authority to arrest you, you still have rights that must be respected. In the United States, these rights are protected by the Fourth Amendment, which guards against unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Fifth and Sixth Amendments, which protect your right to silence and legal counsel. The moment you are placed under arrest, the officer, whether it is a captain or a constable, is legally required to inform you of your Miranda rights before any questioning begins. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. These words are not just a formality from television dramas. They are a constitutional obligation. If a police captain arrests you and fails to inform you of these rights before questioning you, any statement you make during that questioning may be inadmissible in court. This is an important protection. Additionally, the arrest must be conducted with reasonable force. A captain, like any officer, cannot use excessive, brutal, or unnecessary force during an arrest, even if the person is resisting. If they do, that officer can face serious legal and professional consequences. Your rights do not disappear simply because someone with a high rank is the one arresting you. Let us now look at the situations where a police captain cannot make an immediate arrest, because understanding the limits of authority is just as important as understanding the authority itself. First, if there is no probable cause, if the captain is acting on personal suspicion, bias, or a vague feeling without specific observable facts, the arrest is illegal. It's called an unlawful arrest, and it violates the Fourth Amendment. Second, if the suspected crime is a minor offense, a misdemeanor, that did not happen directly in front of the officer, many jurisdictions require a warrant before making an arrest. The captain cannot arrest you for a minor traffic violation that happened 3 days ago without going through proper legal channels. Third, if you are in your own home, special rules apply. The Fourth Amendment provides very strong protections for your home, your private dwelling. In most cases, police, including a captain, need both a warrant and an announcement before entering your home to make an arrest. There are exceptions for hot pursuit and emergencies, but the baseline protection is strong and clear. The message is important. Even the most senior ranking officer in the department is bound completely by the law. Rank does not equal unlimited power. Authority has limits, and those limits exist specifically to protect you and every citizen. Now, let us look at a fascinating comparison that adds even more depth to our topic. In many states and countries, even an ordinary citizen, someone with no badge, no rank, and no uniform, can make a lawful arrest under very specific circumstances. This is called a citizen's arrest. If you personally witness someone committing a serious felony crime right in front of you, some legal systems permit you to detain that person until police arrive. Now, compare that with a police captain. A captain is a fully trained, sworn, authorized law enforcement officer. They carry legal authority that goes far beyond what any private citizen has. They can investigate crime scenes, gather probable cause through surveillance and detective work, apply for and execute warrants, and make immediate arrests in a much wider range of situations than any ordinary person could legally do. The key difference between a citizen's arrest and a police arrest is not just legality, it's accountability. When a police captain makes an arrest, they are bound by departmental policy, constitutional law, court oversight, and professional standards. When a citizen makes an arrest, the legal landscape is murkier and the risk of personal civil liability is much higher. A police captain, by their very nature as a sworn officer of the law, carry both the authority and the heavy responsibility to act, and that responsibility does not diminish based on rank or title. Let us now look at the journey of what happens after a police captain makes an immediate on-the-spot arrest. This helps you understand the full picture. First, the person arrested must be formally processed. This means they are taken to a police station or detention facility where their identity is recorded, they are photographed and fingerprinted, and their personal belongings are inventoried and stored. Second, the arrested person must be brought before a judge within a constitutionally required time frame, usually 24 to 48 hours, depending on the jurisdiction. This court appearance is called an arraignment or initial hearing. The judge will review whether the arrest was lawful, whether probable cause existed, and whether the person should be held, released on bail, or released on their own recognizance. This judicial review is critically important because it is the check on police power. Even if a police captain made the arrest with complete sincerity and good intentions, if the judge finds that probable cause did not actually exist, the arrest can be declared unlawful and the person must be released immediately. This system of checks and balances, where police officers, even senior ones like captains, are answerable to judges and courts, is the foundation of a just and fair legal system. No one, regardless of rank, is above accountability. So, coming back to that powerful image we started with, you are standing on the street, a police captain steps out of a vehicle and says, "You are arrested." Now you know exactly what that means, and more importantly, you know your rights in that moment. Yes, a police captain can arrest you immediately. As a sworn law enforcement officer, they carry that authority at all times, not just when they're behind a desk or running a division. Whether they witness a crime in progress, have solid probable cause based on real evidence, or are responding to an emergency situation, their rank does not limit their ability to act. But their rank also does not give them unlimited, unchecked power. The law protects you every step of the way. Probable cause must exist, your Miranda rights must be respected, reasonable and proportional force must be used, and a judge must ultimately review and confirm whether the arrest was lawful. Knowledge is not just power, knowledge is protection. When you understand how the law works, you are not a passive subject of authority. You are an informed, empowered citizen who knows what is legal, what is not, and exactly what you are entitled to in every situation. Share this video with someone who needs to understand their rights. Leave a comment below telling me what surprised you the most today. And if you want to go deeper into law, rights, and how authority truly works, hit that subscribe button because we have much more coming for you. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.